Hello my dear friends. Right, today I'm going to do a quick lesson for those beginners that are struggling with bar chords. Now, I'm not trying to put you off learning how to play bar chords. They are vitally important, particularly if you want to play certain songs. However, there are ways of getting around them, until you're ready to do it. There's nothing worse than sort of chugging along and then all of a sudden a bar chord pops up and messes everything up for you. So today's lesson is looking at a few examples of how we can perhaps get around that particular problem. So let's take three chords. Like when you first start to learn to play, the first three I learned were not the easiest chords. It was C, F and G. C, F played correctly as a bar chord, as you know, and G. That F was horrible. I said to me, Dad, why has it got to be an F? And he said, if you don't learn to play it, because of course he taught me, but how can we get around it? Say you're playing with a mate and he can play the F, and you haven't been playing long, because I know a lot of you out there haven't been playing that long. So what can we do that we can still play a song with C, F and G in it and get away with it? Well, usually a beginner will know how to play A, D and E. They're three nice easy chords that you should all need to know. If you don't know how to play them, forget it, A, D and E. So how can we use that knowledge to play C, F and G? Okay, well, this is where I did a lesson about the cage system and it's dead easy to understand. Okay, first of all, I'm going to put a capo on at the, where are we, 3rd fret. Alright, and I want you to look at my little tuner here. So the chords we were playing before were C, F and G. Okay, I'm going to now play the shapes. Important word, shapes. A, D and E. And I want you to, as I play the A shape, I want you to look at what pops up on my tuner. Surely not. Can't be C, he's playing an A shape. What's going on? Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. So C, that's proof. I'm going to use a D now, a D shape. F? That can't be F, he's playing a D shape. Look. And finally, I'm going to play the E shape. G? Doesn't look anything like a G. Well, I am actually playing C, F and G. So if your mate was playing along smugly, because he knows how to do F or she, watching you struggling, you'll just say, oh, well, hang on a minute, we can all play at that game, young man, young lady. So what's going on? Right, before we get to that, thank you for the donations to the channel. For those people who want to help and assist the Tea and Coffee Fund, the Fenner Tea and Coffee Fund, there's a little thanks button down the bottom. If you click on that, you can donate to the fund if you want. Everything on the channel is free. There's no paperwork for this lesson. It's a Wednesday lesson and you're not going to need it because I'm going to explain everything nice and clearly for you. What I would ask you to do though is please click the thumbs up thing, and better more than that, try and, if you're not a member already or subscribe. Remember, for you oldies, subscribing does not mean paying any money. It's not like subscribing to pay your gas bill or anything. It's just like joining the club. You click the bell or whatever it is, the subscriber button, and it just tells you when I put something up, like a video like this. And if you get bored with it, you just click it again and it goes away. It's just like joining the club, but it helps the channel, and the more people that do that, the more the videos are circulated and the more people play guitar, and that's the most important thing. So anyway, thank you for those who already have subscribed, and for those people that donate to the channel, to the Fenner Tea and Coffee and Biscuits Fund. Alright, so how do we, going back to what we were just talking about, C, F and G, how can that shape be a C? Well, this is where the cage system comes in. We know that the A shape there, it's only the chord A when it lives here. A. Now you need to know a little bit about your scale. If I was to move that up 1 fret, it would become A sharp. If I move it up again, it would become B. And if I move it up again, C. But I don't want to use this finger because we're trying to avoid bar chords, aren't we? So I will use my capo. So instead of doing that, I'm just doing this. But I'm still getting the desired effect of being able to play a C without using all these fingers. But more importantly, when I go to the next shape, which you should all know, it's one of the first shapes you learn, which is a D shape, it's playing that dreaded F, because it is the chord F. How can that be? Well, let's think about it. It's D there. If I move it up 1 fret, it's D sharp. If I move it up 1 more, it's E. And if I move it up 1 more, it's F. Now, a classical player, we would play it like this. Okay? But again, we want to get rid of this bar, so we would put our capo on thus. There's that word again, thus. It's a great word. And similarly, when we play this chord, which is an E shape, which you'll recognise as E, if you think about it, that capo is taking the place once again of the bar, isn't it? We're using that instead of a finger. So how can that be G? Well, if it was E here, F, see the way it's just the same shape moved up, F sharp, and finally G. But of course we don't want to use the bar, so we would put the capo on. Alright, so by knowing that little trick, anything that you do with C, F and G, you can play using the capo. Now we use this all the time in recording studios. If we had 2 guitars or 3 guitars, one of them, you know, if I was doing a song and I had C, F and G in it, I'd play one of them down here. The other one, I'd use a capo, so we get a different type of sound playing the same chords. And then if there was a 3rd guitar, I would put the capo here and I would play. And you'll say, oh, hang on a minute, you're playing a G shape there, and then you're playing a C, and then a D. And I'd say to you, well, I'm playing those shapes, but I'm actually playing C, F and G. I'm not playing, there's the G shape, C and D shapes, but I'm actually playing the chords C, F and G. Should we prove it with this again? Okay. So, C, F, and G. Why is that? Well, once again, I was playing the shapes. I was playing the G shape, wasn't I? Imagine there's our G there. It's only G when it lives there. If I move it up 1, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Okay, now I'm using this instead of the capo. Similarly, when I play the C shape, when I've got the capo on, it's not C anymore. It's only C when it's there. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. Where are we? F. Okay, and this one, that would become our G. How can we prove it? What? D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. Alright, and so on. So that's where the capo comes in. Now, I did a masterclass on the caged system, and it's one of those things, it sounds like it's really complicated, and it's not, because I go out of my way to try and make these things easy for you to understand. And I'm not a big theory head, as a lot of you will know. But this one is really important because it will help you to avoid bar chords that you don't want. Now, I've given you an example of C, F and G. Let's look at another progression, shall we? If I wanted to play D, and then whenever you're playing a D, there's nearly always a bloody B minor that'll pop in. And then an E minor. And then an A. So I think I want to get rid of that B minor. I can't play it. I've got arthritis. My thumb's sore. What can I do to play D, B minor, E minor, and A, for example? Well, I'm going to use exactly the same technique as the other one. Instead of playing D, I'll think, well, what other shape can I use? And I'll think about what we've just talked about. I'll say, well, if I use a C shape, C, C sharp, D. I can play a D there, but I need the help of this capo. So I'll put that up the 2nd fret. So when I play the C shape now, I'm actually playing the chord D. Okay? C, C sharp, D. Prove it. There we are. Now that nasty little B minor, if I were to play an A minor, which you should all know, when it's played at this fret, there's the B there. I'm playing a minor chord obviously, but there we are. Same thing, A minor, A sharp minor, B minor. So I've managed to avoid it. The E minor that I played before, I will now play a D minor shape, which I can easily do. It'll pop up as E on here. And then finally, what did I do? The A that I played before, I'm going to use the G shape now. It's a G shape, but I'm actually playing the chord A. Prove it. There we are. Lifts G when it lives there, G sharp when it's 1 fret up, it's A there, and so on. Should we do one more? Let's have a look. Let's try and think about it. Let's do one. Okay, let's do E, F sharp minor. Oh God, it's like F. It's a 2nd fret chord, 2nd bar. Yeah, 2nd bar at 2nd fret minor. Quite a tricky one, but it tends to be around if playing in E. F sharp minor, and then an A, and then a B. You know, so there's 2 nasty chords there. Some people play the B like that. Some people play it like that. Classical player would do it like this. You know, which is the A shape. So E, F sharp minor. What did I say next? A, B. So how can we get around that? Well, once again, I'll say, well, hold on a minute. I don't want to play that F sharp minor. But I'll look at it and I'll say, what does that remind me of? What do those 2 fingers remind me of? It reminds me of an E minor. And it should, because that's what it is. It's E minor shoved up a couple of frets. That's E minor. I'll use these 2 fingers. E minor, F minor, F sharp minor. Should come up as F sharp here. There we are. I don't want to play that. I want to play an E minor. I want to get rid of this bar. So that'll give me a clue as to where I can put a capo. So I'm going to put the capo there. Alright. Now the first chord I played was an E. And based on what we've done previously in this lesson, we'll know now that E, how can I play an E? I can't use the shape that I know. I need to find another way of playing E at this fret. So I'll think, well, D, think of the scale, D, D sharp, E. Let's prove it. Here we are. E. The F sharp minor that we were trying to avoid is the E minor now. That's good, isn't it? The next chord we were going to play was an A. Well, we can't play the shape A because it wouldn't be A anymore. But if, again, thinking back, if I play the G shape now here, that is, because it's moved up 2 frets from where it normally lives, G, G sharp, A. Prove it. And then finally we've got a B. You know, well, if I play the A shape at this position, it's A when it lives there, A sharp, B. Let's check it. And it's our B. So I'm now playing the chords. I'm playing E, F sharp minor, A, and B. Alright, rather than doing this. So on. So do you get the idea? So a quick lesson on how to avoid bar chords. Now I'm not advocating that you think, oh great, we can forget about using them, because you're always going to find barcodes. Even if I was doing something like that, you never know, there might be another barcode that you're going to have to play. So spend your time learning how to play them. There's a masterclass on barcodes. If you go back and have a look at it, I did 8 masterclasses, 1 to 8. Look for the cage system, all right? Look for the barcodes. But in the meantime, especially if you like recording and you want to double up your guitars, you don't want to be playing the same inversions, or if you're playing with another player, use that technique so you get a nice blend of the same chords. All right, they're just inversions of the same chords. All right. So on that note, once again, thank you for the donations to the channel. If you want to donate to the Tea and Coffee Fund, there's a little button down the bottom, a thanks button. You can do that. Click on that, and then tells you what you can donate if you want to do that. More importantly though, please click that thumbs up, because that helps the channel, and share everything that you want. All my stuff on the channel is free. You don't pay for anything. For those who want to subscribe, all you oldies, it doesn't mean you pay for anything. It just means you join in the club. All right. And if you don't want to subscribe anymore, you click the same button and I will go away till the next time. All right. But until then, I shall love you and leave you. Have a good go at this. It's really, really worth knowing. All right. So there's a little trick for you. You take care. See you next time. Bye bye.